Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. We have just completed our Vesak. I wish you all a really happy, hope you all had a happy and pleasant Vesak. And today we are going to have a very special teacher who will join us. But before that, I would like all of you all to compose your mind. All the students who are here, please put your palms together. We are going to have a short chanting, which is led by Venerable Hemaloka. Unfortunately, Reverend Hemaloka won't be here with us today, but we will share the video that he has done the chanting for us. So I would like to now invite Brother Chong Kok Jin to share the video, and I want all of y'all, you can mute yourself, but as Reverend Hemaloka to start the video now. So please put your palms together, sit up straight, take a deep breath, and then we all will chant together with Venerable Hemaloka. Okay?
Not important one. Not important. Not important. I cooking all very important.
Please recite Namo Tassa 3 times in order to observe precept. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatthiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatthiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatthiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. 5 precept Pañcasila. Pānātipātā vērmani sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Adhinnādhānā vērmani sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā vērmani sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Musāvādā vērmani sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Surāmeraya majjapamā datthānā vērmani sikkhapaдаṃ samādhiyāmi. Salutation of triple gems, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. We all recite together. Salutation of the Buddha. ඉත්ථිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විද්‍යාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදෝ අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරථී සත්තා දේව මනුත්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති ස්වාඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සන්දෙස්ටිකෝ අකාලිකෝ හේහි පත්සිකෝ ඕපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තං වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤුහිති සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ ඥායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අත්ථ පුරිස පුංඝලා හේස භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක් කෙත්තං ලෝකත්සාත්ථි. Puja offerings. ඝනසාරප්පදිත්තේන දීපේන තමධංසිනා තිලෝක දීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුධං වන්න ගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනිං දත්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ පානීයං පරිකම්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු මුත්තමං අදිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්හාතු මුත්තමං ගන්ධ සම්භාර යුත්තේන ධූපේනාහං සුගන්ධිනා පූජයේ පූජනීයං තං පූජා වාචන මුත්තමං වන්ධාමි චේතියං සම්භං සම්භතානේ සුපතිට්ඨිතං සාරීරික ධාතු මහාබෝධින් බුද්ධ රූපං සකලං සදා ආකාසත්තා ච භුම්මත්තා දේවානාගා මහින්దికා පුඤ්ඤං තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං දේවෝ වත්සතු කාලේන සත්ස සම්පත්ති හෝතු ච පීඨෝ භවතු ලෝකෝ ච රාජා භවතු ධම්මිකෝ ඉධම්මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ හිමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ භාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්ඡයං කමමේ භන්තේ භූරි පඤ්ඤ තථාගත සාදු සාදු Sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, today we are going to practice meditation of loving kindness. Each and every one of you, please sit comfortably. Put your palms on your laps. Put your body straight up. Close your eyes. Generate love, compassion, deep devotion in your heart and mind. Be relax yourself. Relax your shoulders. Relax your body. Be relax yourself. Make a wish. May I be well and happy. May I be free from physical and mental sufferings. May I be free from harm and danger. May I be free from all difficulties. May I be well. May I be peace. May I be comfortable. May I be well and happy. Spread your love towards your parents. May my parents be well and happy. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be free from physical and mental sufferings. May they be well. May they be peace. May they be comfortable. May they be well and happy. Spread your love towards your teachers. May all my teachers, may all my Sunday Dhamma School teachers, may all my school teachers, may all my teachers be well and happy. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be well. May they be peace. May they be comfortable. May they be well and happy. Spread your love towards your family. May all my members of the family, siblings, relatives, may they be well and happy. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be well. May they be peace. May they be comfortable. May they be well and happy. Spread your love towards your friends, all my school friends, all my Sunday Dhamma School friends. May all my friends be well and happy. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be well. May they be peace. May they be comfortable. May they be well and happy. Now spread your love towards your unhappy friends, towards your enemies. May they be well and happy. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be well. May they be peace. May they be comfortable. May they be well and happy. Now spread your love, spread your loving kindness, spread your metta to the universe, who is near to you, who is dear to you, who is neighbor to you, who is living in the city and country. May all my neighbors, may all my country people, may all Malaysians, may they be well and happy. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be well. May they be peace. May they be comfortable. May they be well and happy. Spread your love to the universe, who is living in this world. May all beings, may all human beings in this world, may all creatures, may all visible beings, may all invisible beings, may all beings be well and happy. May all beings be free from physical and mental sufferings. May they be free from all difficulties. May they be free from harm and danger. May all beings be well. May all beings be peace. May all beings be comfortable. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. Slowly open your eyes. Sabbha papatsa akaranang kusalassa upasampadha sacitta pariyodhapanang etang buddhana sasanang. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sabbhetiyo vivaccantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi dīghā yuko bhava. May you all be well and happy always.
Sit in your lotus position, hands on your lap, right over the left. Sit upright, back straight. Let us do a short reflection. Today, I've made the right effort to come to Sukha Dhamma School. I've spent my time and energy usefully. May I have good health. May I do well in my study. May the knowledge of Dhamma guide me in my life. With right actions and good thoughts, I've gathered a lot of merits. I share these merits with my parents, teachers, devas, sangha members, friends, and departed relatives. May they rejoice in my meritorious deeds. May they protect me from harm and danger. If I've harmed anyone either knowingly or unknowingly, through my words, speech, and actions, I ask for forgiveness. If anyone had harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly through their words, speech, and actions, I forgive them. May all beings achieve Nibbana. Say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
The mornings are made beautiful, Mahayana Mitra makes it colorful. Our lives are filled with values and smiles. Together we learn at the Sukha Dhamma School. Suka duka kita bersama, together we learn the Dhamma. As we explore our lives bersama, we learn that we are just sama. We learn to be kind, to always share, helping each other, showing the way. Through stories we learn, through wisdom we earn. Together we make life a better place. Suka duka kita bersama, together we learn the Dhamma. As we explore our lives bersama, we learn that we are just sama. Suka duka kita bersama, together we learn the Dhamma. As we explore our lives bersama, we learn that we are just sama. Suka duka kita bersama.
Thank you, Brother Chong. Sister Jackie, allow me to share the slide. Just share the slide, please. I'm sorry, there's something wrong with my computer. I'll ask Sister Rohini to share the slide. Can you all hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. To the children who have come in, to the parents and grandparents, thank you for joining us this morning. It's a very happy morning for all of us at Sukha Dhamma School, and for all of you. We have a very, very special teacher today. Today, we have invited this teacher all the way from Bhutan. She's born in Bhutan. She became a nun at the age of 16. She received her ordination from His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in 1999. She studied Buddhist philosophy in India for 13 years and lots of other literature, which is included in our Buddhist philosophy. She received her Masters of Arts degree in Delhi University in 2009 and another Masters of Arts degree from the International Buddhist College in Thailand in 2016. She completed her Doctor of Philosophy degree in Gender and Religion in University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur in 2017. She is also the first Himalayan Buddhist nun to obtain a PhD, and I will say a big sadhu to that. She is fluent in English, Tibetan, Bhutanese, Hindi, Nepali, and several Bhutanese dialects. Since 1995, she has become a presenter, a translator, and a moderator in several conferences. She also currently helps as a translator to many masters in Malaysia and Singapore. She has written several articles invoking policy changes and achieving equal access to education for nuns in Bhutan. In recognition for her contribution to Buddhist women in Vajrayana Buddhism, she was honored Outstanding Woman in Buddhism Award in 2012 in Bangkok, Thailand. We say another big sadhu for her huge achievement. And she has also co-authored 2 books with Dr. Karma, published in 2019, entitled Two Gurus, One Message. The other book, which is pending publication, is I Can Be Enlightened. And Sister Vinita is very happy, can't wait to get hold of this book. And today, on 30th of May 2021, the last day for the month of May, we would like to invite our teacher, our guru, Venerable Dr. Tenzin Dadon, Sonam Wangmo, to share with us the value of good speech. Children, if you don't know where Bhutan is, Venerable Sonam is going to surprise us with a lot of pictures on Bhutan. Okay, so I'd like to invite Venerable this morning, and I'm very, very honored for Venerable to join us this morning. Thank you, Venerable. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Just let me share my screen first. Okay. So, okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Good.
Otherwise, I can. Yeah. Okay, put on.
Yes.
1 minute. I put this maybe.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So good morning to each and every one of you. And thank you for giving me this platform to share my whatever knowledge that I have with you all. Then before I start my talk, I would like to do a short supplication in Tibetan. Marsam jimi sharap parichi maki miga namkai won so rari sheji wa disum gewe yumla chatse. So thank you to all the Sukha Dhamma School teachers, venerables, members, parents, and especially the children who have given their time, their Sunday time, when they should be going out and enjoying. Because on the other days also they're having all the schools and all, and yet on Sundays they're giving it time. Thank you for coming and joining me. So the topic today will be on the value of good speech. Okay, slow down. So, okay. So first, before I speak on what is the value of the good speech, I would like to just brief I'll give an outline of a little bit on the Buddhism. So what is the value of Buddhism? So there are a variety of core values of Buddhism, among which the first and foremost is the three refuge or the three jewel, or it is usually known as the triple gem, in which the Buddhist people, when we become a Buddhist, we take refuge in the Buddha, which is a historical Shakyamuni Buddha at the present moment, and then the Dharma or the Dhamma, which is the teaching of the Buddha, and then the community, which is the Sangha. The Sangha community is actually a fourfold, which is a laymen, lay women, monks and nuns. But here, when we talk about taking the refuge in the Sangha, we usually mean it in the Tibetan Buddhism, we usually mean it like Arahat or Bodhisattva Sangha. So the core value of the Buddhism also have many, like Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, and the karma, cause and effect, impermanence, and so on and so forth. But now that the topic is related with the Four Noble Truths, so I will just go briefly through the Four Noble Truths. So what are the Four Noble Truths? The Four Noble Truths are the truth of suffering, the truth of origin of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. So to simplify what all these four are, Buddha has taught us that life is a suffering. Life is a suffering as long as we are in the samsara. That we are in the samsara means in the cycle of rebirth, old age, sickness, and death. And then again, after the death, we will be reborn and we will just go on and on and on. So as long as we are not out of this, it is a suffering. We will never be without the suffering. So, and this, where does this suffering all comes from? The suffering is just because of our three poisons, which are the greed, anger, and delusion. So because we are so much in greed, we want this, we want that. So it causes us a suffering. And in a similar way, when we are angry, we get angry, we get upset. If we get something, we are happy. If we don't get, then we are not happy. And then likewise, you want this and you don't want that. It is like pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling. All these are also leads to the suffering. And delusion is the main one, which we are not aware. Like ignorance is the bliss, we say it. So ignorance. So these are the three poisons, which we call it three poison, are the root cause, which lead us to the samsara and bind us in the samsara. And for this, for us to come out of this suffering, the only way for us is to follow the path of the Noble Eightfold Path. So what are the Noble Eightfold Path? So the Four Noble Eightfold Path are the right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So this again, this Eightfold Path is actually categorized or divided into the three trainings, which is under the wisdom, ethical conduct, and the mental discipline, whereby under the wisdom comes the right view and the right intention, and under the ethical conduct is the right speech, right action, and livelihood, which our today's topic, the value of the good speech, is under the ethical conduct, which is a right speech. And under the mental discipline comes the right effort, right awareness, and right meditation. So as I was talking about the second ethical conduct, the ethical conduct, or the sila in Sanskrit or Pali, or the precept, all means the same, yeah, or the vows, we call it the vows or sila. Precepts, ethical conducts are actually synonymous. These are all the words that is of the same meaning. And this precept is related to the right action of the Noble Eightfold Path. And in terms of the precepts, when we talk about the 5 precepts, I think everybody knows, isn't it, about the 5 precepts, because we just took from Bante before we started this session. It is about stealing, killing, stealing, the sexual misconduct, about lying and taking intoxications. So among these 4, the 4th one is not lying. And this not lying, the 4th precept of not lying, is directly linked to the right speech of the Noble Eightfold Path. So this is the topic that we are going to share today. So thus the 4th precept, according to the Pali Canon, is Musavada Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami, which translated as, I undertake the precept to refrain from incorrect speech. So when we take the precept, we are refraining from the incorrect speech, but we are trying to tell all the truth with the honesty, with the dignity, with the truthfulness. So what is the right speech? Right speech is actually communicating peacefully or powerfully, and then using the beautiful words, soft words, the loving words with a lot of compassion, whereby it helps or benefits others, do not harm them. And in the similar way as we speak, we should also not be harmed through that. We also have to be benefited. But in terms of the right speech, when we speak, we actually focus more on the others. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you yourself are not harmed with your word that you're using. So according to the Pali Sutta Pitaka in the Samyutta Nikaya, the definition of the right speech says that the right speech is abstaining from lying, abstaining from divisive speech or slandering, and from abstaining from abusive speech, which means using a harsh word, and abstaining from the idle chatter or the gossip. This is also actually, we have 10 virtuous action and the 10 non-virtuous actions. So this is among the 10 virtuous. We have, when it is categorized until according to the body action, the speech, and the mind action. So these are the 4 mind actions. So, okay. So in terms of the lying, the first one, it is also categorized into many, like for example, there's an ordinary lie, a major lie, and then also a phony lamas lies. We call it Mishe Lamezun in Tibetan. So, but in reality, it doesn't matter whether it is an ordinary lie, whether it is a major lie, whether it is a black lie or a white lie. Lie is a lie. As the saying goes that wrong is wrong even if everyone is doing, and right is right even if no one is doing it. Yeah. So even if you lie, small or big, it is still a lie. But there are consequences also according to the lie. So that's why it is categorized into the ordinary, major, and phonic, and likewise. So when you talk about the lying in the ordinary, it is a saying that false statement, which is the untrue statement, which is made with the intention of deceiving other people, to really cheat other people. You're using the false statement, the wrong statement, with the intention. And then the intention is very, very important in the Buddhism. If your intention is good, sometimes even if you are lying, it can be accepted. But sometimes if your motivation is not good, or intention is not good, your perception is not good, then even if it is the 100% correct, still you are making a mistake. You're telling lie. I mean, you're telling lie. So the intention also is very, very important in when it comes to this. So major lies is like no benefit in saying that there is no benefit in the positive actions and there's no harm in doing any negative actions. So you can just do whatever you feel like. So which means they are not like really believing in the good and the bad of the Dharma teachings according to the Buddha's teachings. So if they say go on saying all this, then it is a major lie. And then also when they say that there is no happiness in the Buddha field, and then being in the lower realms or in the samsara, there is no suffering. And then if you go and say that the Buddha have no good qualities, these are the major lies. Why is this considered as a major lie? It's because there's no other lies that could be more devastating in misleading the consequences. Sorry. Because this will really be a very big impact on the person who is listening, and also for the person who is speaking all these major lies. It will be a very big consequences that the person have to go through. The consequences in the sense means, you know, the karma. What you act, you will reap. What you sow, you will reap. So what they're sowing by saying all this is a very, very heinous crime, very major crime, so which they have to go through. In the similar way, when they go and tell the other people, and when these other people listen, and if they really take it as what this person says, the person will act according to what they hear and what they believe in it. So in that way, it is also leading the other people to the wrong path. So the next one is claiming also in a wrong way, saying that even if you have not received the realizations, people go and say that I have received realization. And some people say, oh, I can read your mind. I have a clairvoyance. I can read your mind. I know what is going through your mind. All this, you know, this is called the phonic. So the consequences for lying will bring us to the material insecurity, constant mental panic, and encounters with terrifying things and situations. So these are the consequences, like it has the benefit and the harm that is done. So if we do the lie, if we lie, then these are the harms that will bring, and then will lead us to the consequences of this. So the second one, divisive speech or the slander, is again can be done it openly or secretly. Openly in the sense means, like, for example, if you want to slander, make a misunderstanding between the two people or the community, then they go right in front, and between these two people, they say that, oh, at that moment you said this about this, the other guy. And then the person will say that the person B also said this and this to the person A right in front. This is openly like slandering. But in secretly means they go behind and tells bad things about one another. Like, for example, I go and tell somebody about my neighbor to another neighbor. And then when I go to this neighbor, then I say something about that neighbor and then make them fight. So this is known as the divisive speech or the slandering. So the worst to cause the conflict is among the members of the Sangha, the Arahants, Sangha, and then also between the teachers, which are highly realized teachers, and the disciples, which they have a guru-disciple relationship. If you make a misunderstanding and they like have a misunderstanding between them because of what you said and what you did and what you thought, then that is also considered as a heinous crime. And then also when we break between the spiritual brothers and sisters, which means like the Dharma brothers and sisters in the center who are practitioners. Among the practitioners, if one go and say this and that to one another and make those people fight, and also in the communities, we have all these A lot of politics in the centers, in the not only in the centers, even in the monasteries, nunneries. We have a lot of all these things that go. It is because we all are human being. We make mistakes. Even as a monks and nuns, we're still a human being. We're not fully realized, and we were not born monks or nuns so that we are perfect in all this. We are also still in the learning process. So there are a lot of mistakes that we make as well. So we have to, but we have to be very, very careful. Really think whenever we want to speak, whenever we want to act, whatever you want to do, even when the thought arises, you have to quickly again examine your thought also, whether it is good thought or a bad thought that is coming to you. Otherwise, it is a very dangerous crimes or the actions that you are doing through your body, speech, and mind. So the slendering makes us inhabit regions difficult to cross, cut with deep raving, rocky gorges, and the like. So this is like the consequences we will face if we go on saying the slandering words to others. So the harsh speech, the third one, is making rude remarks about other people's faults. So among the four speech, this one, the harsh word, saying the harsh word to the others is considered as the worst of the four negative actions of speech. As the proverb puts it, words have no arrows, no swords, yet they tear man's mind to pieces. So we always think that the knife and like a saw or scissors and all this, the physical sharp weapons are stronger, isn't it? But that one is not as sharp as the words. So the words are very, very sharp, that it will really cut not only the physical body where we can heal, but it tears the mind, the heart of the man to pieces, which it can not be broken. Which we always say that the Chinese cup and all, which is made from ceramic and all this, once broken, it cannot be mended or it cannot be fixed. So in a similar way, words are very, very strong, that once it cuts the man's this thing, it is difficult to join back. We can see many in the world, especially even in our family members, friends, that they had a little bit of fight and then started using a very harsh word. And throughout their life, they don't talk to each other. They don't get along each other, just because of one incident where the person had used only one a harsh word for one time, and they keep that in the grudges. But people will never remember the good things, the good words that the other person or the people have said, because we are very much inclined to the negative from the very, very beginningless time. So it is very strong that we don't have to learn when it comes to the negativities. It automatically, it naturally comes to us without our putting in effort to learn all this. So you have to really, really like be careful of what you speak and what you think and what you do in the action from the body, speech, and mind. So this one, the harsh speech, the consequences will be caused by rebirth in the bleak terrain or full of rocks, stones, and thorns. According to the text, I'm saying it is not that it's my saying. So, okay, the next one, the fourth one, is a worthless chatter or idle gossip. So this is like talking a lot without any purpose. This is seen everywhere. People doesn't like to listen. They have no patience in listening. They just keep on saying, talking. And that is actually another cause, you know, when you don't listen, or either you don't listen at all, or you listen only half, then you start giving them the answer in a wrong way, and that hurts the other person's feeling. Especially in our Buddhist community, we can see that the people seldom likes to listen. They always like to talk, but never listen. The listening problem, they have a listening problem. So like in particular, to disturb the people's prayer or recitation by distracting them, by talking, like, for example, even if the person is doing some we can see in the centers and all, somebody is sitting at the corner, but the other persons all cannot sit idle, they cannot like see, or they are not patient to, they are not very happy to see that other person is practicing diligently. They must go and disturb, like walk around again and again, and then or make some sound, or they wanted to just talk loudly so that the other person will be distracted, isn't it? So these are actually gossiping or idle chatter, which is preventing them, the person who is practicing, to make a merit. And gossip and all this, as I said, it naturally comes, it spontaneously comes. We don't have to practice, we don't have to learn, because it is already there from the beginningless time. We are very much inclined to the negative actions, negative thoughts, negative speech. We don't have to learn all this. All this just comes. But now that you are into the practice, you're learning the Dharma, you have to be more careful. You have to look into yourself, into your thoughts, into your bodily action, into your mind's thought, and also the speech that you use. If you really, really sit and reflect, it is actually motivated all by this desire, hatred, jealousy, anger, delusion, by these 3 poisons and 5 poisons. So try not to commit all this. Slowly decrease. In one shot, yes, we will not be able to do it, but I'm sure you will be able to overcome. You practice it 1 day, 2 days. That's why we practice the meditation, the mindfulness and all. So as to be more mindful of what we are doing, to be aware of what we are doing, what we are speaking, what we are thinking. So each time all these things, negativities comes in action, thought and speech, reflect back and see whether it is correct or not. So this one will, as a consequences, it will lead you to the rebirth on barren and infertile land. Okay, so now how to practice the right speech. So the Buddha said, speak well of others, not of their faults. As easy as it is, isn't it? Speak well of others, not of their fault. But when we hear it, sounds very easy. Speak well of others, not of their fault. But when it comes to action, we are not able to stick to this. We will never tolerate speaking well of others, isn't it? Because if we see somebody is happy, we can't tolerate to be rejoicing, but instead we will say, oh, this one is happy, this one got this and that because of this, and we will make any excuses. So in a similar way, we are always like not be able to speak truth or good about the others. You can very clearly see in the society, also in the media and all this, if there is something wrong that we do, if it is even a very small thing, the bad things that we do, it just spreads very fast like a wildfire. But if we do something good, nobody knows for years and years, for months and months, for years and years, they don't know. And even if, for example, one person share the good news to another, that person will say, oh, okay. Or they might not listen, but even if they listen also, they'll say, oh, okay. And then they will forget it. They will not share. But if it is something small, the negative, the thing that the person has done, then it will really spread like a wildfire. So this shows that people are not interested in the good things, in the good speech, in the good actions of others, as well as their own. Actually, in reality, when you think you want happiness, you want good thing for yourself, in a similar way, you reflect. Everyone also want in the same way as you want. So each time you do things on the others, reflect on oneself, how you yourself how you want you to be. So in a similar way, give the love to others to receive a love. If you give hatred, you definitely will receive hatred, isn't it? So the right speech in Buddha's teaching is very, very important. And it is under the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the way for us to come out of the samsara. That is the only way. And then also right speech recommends us to avoid this 4 negative speech, like from lying, divisive action, harsh speech, and gossip. And in Buddhism, being truthful is not only a very simple thing, but it is going beyond simply not lying, which means that it is speaking truthfully and honestly, with sincerity, with sincerity in the heart and with dignity. Because when you lie, there's no dignity. There's always a fear. There's always like a guilty conscience and all. Even if you at that moment when you speak, you don't feel all this fear, but when you later on, when you reflect it back, when you find out this are not correctly that you have done, definitely then you can feel that then you don't have any peace in your mind. And then if you have lied something, then for the lifetime you have to regret, because you have to keep that thing as a secret, hiding, and then you are in fear because you worry that somebody will find about it. So it also means using the speech to benefit others and not for oneself. As earlier mentioned, right speech is using a speech to benefit others. And then, of course, it is to benefit oneself as well. But we give more importance to the others rather than ourselves. But at the same time, you have to make sure that in the process of benefiting the others, even if it doesn't benefit you, you should at least not harm yourself when you're helping the others through the good speech. So as earlier mentioned, the root speech is rooted in the 3 poisons. So what causes the wrong speech? There are many ways of causing the wrong speech. For example, through the bad conduct or the bad actions of our body, mind, and speech, through our faculties, through not being mindfulness and not clear comprehension, no faith in conviction, and not listening to the Dharma properly. And then even if we go with the wrong friends, also in terms of the bodily speech, bodily action, the speech, and also the thought, all will go wrong. Not only it is in the speech, it is also for the other actions from the body and the mind as well. So what you should be speaking. So according to the Anguttara Nikaya, it says one should speak only that word by which one would not torment oneself nor harm others. Or one should speak only pleasant words acceptable to others without bringing evil to others, which means you have to speak instead of harsh words and the bad word, evil words, you have to speak soothing words, very calming words, something like a flower and like a honey, when we like get the flowers and all, how you feel, isn't it? It has very beautiful fragrance and it's beautiful to see. So in a similar way, when you give the calming word, the very soothing word, pleasant word, the people will, other person or whoever that we are speaking to, it is not only actually the human, through the experiment and all, we can see even the animals and the plants are very much into it. Like for example, I have 3 cats here. If each time we little bit scold them, they know that it is a scolding and it is not a good word that we are using them. and then they will go away, and they won't come to us for hours and hours. Sometimes they don't come even for the whole day towards us. So we can, from there we can see that even the animals have the feelings and they also get hurt. So definitely the humans we consider as higher and can understand more, and they definitely will feel more. And in a similar way with the plants as well, they have done this scientific experiment. They have planted 2 plants in the pots, and then one get a lot of love, a lot of loving words, and then also is nurtured so well with the proper manure, proper watering, proper the warmth. And the other one is always getting scolding, and after a while the plant dies. So you see, it definitely have the effect. So, so how you have to practice, or what are the right speeches are to tell the truth. Instead of lying, you have to tell the truth. And then instead of slandering on others, you have to reconcile disputes, bring harmony to the society, to the community, to the group, with your friends. And then speak pleasantly instead of harsh words to others. And then recite prayers and mantras. Or if you don't want to do the vocal, then you can meditate and then calm your mind and all, instead of just using gossiping, or you just talking idly with no sense. Just people like to talk about anything under the sun. So the benefit of the right speech are, like if you renounce the lying, if you give up, if you abstain lying, then you will get a lot of praises and love from everyone. And then if you give up the slandering word, there will be a circle of respectful friends around you. And then even if you are you want to have a servant or somebody to help you around, you will get all the good ones that really with full-heartedly, dedicatingly help you. We can see even in the houses and all, if we have maids and all, some people, they really talk very rough and very harsh on their maids. And then these maids also, they don't do their work properly because their bosses are very rude. So they will skip the work, they will do half-heartedly, and then they'll run away. Or they will land up running away, taking all your things, stealing and all these things. It's all because of your own action and the consequences you're facing. But at the same time, if there are bosses that speak very nicely to your thing, even if you want to chase them away, they will say, no, even if you don't pay also, I will serve you, they will stay. So these are the things that we will get in reward. And then for giving the harsh word, you will be able to receive all the pleasant words from anybody. So we can see sometimes some people are so much like respected and always talked so nicely by people. So we know now the consequences, why they are getting like that. And then certain people, even if they seems to be doing good, they are getting scolding. It is not because they are bad in this life, but they would have accumulated such kind of negativities in their past lives, where they are now receiving it, because it is ripening now in this life. So they are getting. So sometimes when we get all this, you also have to think that it is the clearing of our karma, of our past karmas that we have created. And for giving up the useless chatter, we being listened to seriously, like when we talk, then the people listen. So most of the time, if we see that we talk and the people don't listen, means it is also because in the past life, or in our not only in the past life, maybe in the upper life of this life also, maybe we have done such negative actions, like talking idly, gossiping about others, and that's why the people are not listening to you now. But if you are not doing all this, if you give up, then whatever you say, good or bad, people will very attentively listen to you. And it depends whether they will take it in heart, but they have the patience to listen to you. So the 5 key to right speech is spoken at the right time, spoken in truth, spoken affectionately, spoken beneficially, and spoken with a mind of loving kindness. So these are the 5 key to the right speech. When you think about the right speech, think of all this and reflect whether it is spoken at the right time, whether the words that you're speaking is really truth or not. It's not only in terms of the speech that it comes out from the mouth only. Nowadays, it is all over the writing, through the social media, through the phones. We like to forward whatever the messages come. We have to actually, to be frank, we have to actually really examine, we have to check whether the news or the news that is coming is a fake or a correct one. So if you just forward what you receive without checking, this is also a lying, Lie doesn't mean that you can only just speak from your mouth. So all this that you do, this is a lying. And then sometimes it's a very big, very highest crime, heinous lies that you are speaking, through the words that you are sending to others. Because especially those people who are educated, yes, they might understand that they might check and see that whether it is correct or not before. But many people are not so good, as I said, in listening. So in terms of listening also, it is not really listening with the ears. It is also like seeing the news and all these things. So when they just receive immediately, if they don't look at it and send, means they are not listening, which means they're not looking at it properly. Even if they look also, they just glance through. They really don't read it properly to understand the meaning, and they just forward it to others. And in the process, somebody will be harmed through that. So these are also a lying. So, and also like whatever words we utter should be chosen with care, for people will hear them and be influenced by them for good or bad. See? So what you speak, people will listen, isn't it? Some people might not listen, some will listen. But in the process, if it is a fake one, untruthful, the harmful words that you're using, then people will start. For example, even in the household, like for example, the parents and all, when they bring up their children, we can see from there also, like the children, they use what their parents and all use, whether it is a harsh word or it is a very words that is not supposed to be used in the public and all. What the parents or the grandparents or their siblings use in front of them, especially the younger ones, because they are so innocent, they don't really know what is good and bad, but they pick up. They really are influenced by their brothers and sisters, older brothers and sisters, their father and mother, their grandpas and grandparents. So they will use, once in our thing, we had a guest that came, couple, and then they brought with them a grandson, and then the grandson started using words that I actually didn't understand, and I kept, what was the boy saying? Because after that the grandpa was repeating and laughing, and then he said that I use it for him, and now he's using. Luckily I didn't understand. Later on, Venerable Karma told me the meaning of it. So think before you speak, so you have to really think about the words or the speech or the sentences that we are going to speak to others. So when you think, then it is you're examining whether it is true or not, whether it is true or false, whether it's a real one or a fake one, whether it is helpful, and whether it is inspiring to the others as well as to yourself. If it is inspiring to you, then it will be inspiring to others. But sometimes if your understanding is wrong and it inspires you, it might not be. So you have to really, really, really reflect and experience it first. And then, is it necessary? And is it kind to speak? So so before you speak, you have to check whether it is true or false. If it is true, if it is not true, then you don't have to speak. Yeah, you can stop there itself. But if it is true, then also you have to again examine. The true itself doesn't mean that you can just simply speak to anybody. Because sometimes when you speak, You have to see the benefit. If it is, even if it is true, it might not benefit some people, isn't it? So you have to really check. And then you have to see also whether the person can accept or not, because there are certain things that it's beneficial that you want to speak to that person, and that it is very beneficial to that particular person and you want to speak. But you have to see the timing. If that person is in the bad mood, is not ready to listen to you, then what is the use also for you to tell? That nothing will go inside the person. Or instead, even if it is a beneficial, it will become non-beneficial for him because he is not ready to listen and he is not in the mood. At that time, he was in the very bad. So just give me 1 minute, 1 second. I want to take some water. My throat is tickling.
Excuse me, Bante, I think you exited.
Bante yang muted.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot. I muted to drink water. I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I was saying that when you check and then you see that it is true or not, when you speak the truth also, sometimes you have to really examine. You have to again check whether it is beneficial or not. Because sometimes even if it is beneficial from your side, it will not be beneficial from the other side. It also depend fully on this thing, what is it, intention, on the intention. Yeah, you have to have a good intention, because the good intention is, even if it doesn't benefit others, at least it will not bring negative deeds on you, negative fruits on you, because you have a good intention. But it is very important to check on the intention of what you are speaking, what you're doing, and what you're thinking. So there are example that how important it is. Like in the past in Tibet, there was one geshe, I think. He was a practitioner staying up in the mountain and practicing diligently. And one day he was supposed to be visited by his benefactors to his meditation cave. And then knowing that all these benefactors are coming to visit him, he did all the offerings on his altar. He cleaned up the room, he cleaned up all the altars and did the offerings. And then once he is done with all the offerings and all, he looked at it and then he felt very satisfied. Oh, today I've done a very good job by cleaning all the places and the altar, and I did lots of offerings, a fresh one and all. But at that moment, as he was also rejoicing of what he did, at the same time, he was aware that he is not doing this for the sake of doing, like it is not his like daily chore that he's doing, but he did it today purposely because the benefactors are coming. So he want to impress. It is actually to impress the benefactors. So immediately as he was aware of that, he took a handful of the dust and threw it, and then again messed up all the altar and the houses with the ashes and made it again dirty. So but later on, some of the realized being and all this, like Padamba Singhe and all, told that this is actually the best offering, because he did earlier with not a good impression, with not good intention, is to impress his benefactors. But when he realized, he immediately threw the dust. And in a similar way, there are also the stories, many stories. And one very common one is the compassionate Buddha, which have a compassionate heart, the Bodhisattva, which have compassionate heart. I'm sure you all must have heard, where they go in a ship in the sea. And then there in the ship was 500 merchants, and one person wanted to kill all these 500 merchants so that he can get all their goods. But the Bodhisattva, there was one Bodhisattva who was the captain of the ship, and then he found out what this person is going to do. And if he is going to kill these 500 merchants, which actually is in the future is a Arahant, non-returner Arahant. So if he is going to kill 500 this Arahant, these merchants, how what will be the consequences on him? Isn't it? He will go deeper into the hell, and then I don't think he will be able to come out at all for eons and eons. So that's why the Bodhisattva thought that even if I have to, sister, थोड़ा mute करेगा. So the Bodhisattva, sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, there was a sound coming from that side, distracted me. So this Bodhisattva, the captain thought that if that person kills, he is going to really make a very bad negativity. So instead, I will take that negativity and I will kill that one person instead of killing the 500. So he killed that person, and instead of going into the hell, he will actually got more merit because he had done it with a good intention to save that one person from killing 500 arahants. So it is best for him to rather kill one person than he killing the 500. So he had a good intention. So in that way, the intentions, if it is pure, but for us, the ordinary people, our intentions are not great as the Bodhisattvas. So that's why I think it is not really advisable to stick onto the intention also when we say or do things. Yes, if your good intention is like really pure, perfect, then I think it is. But otherwise, if it is half, you think that it is a good intention, but at the same time, there is a mixture of feeling where your intention is not exactly the perfect, then I think you have to change your thought, or maybe you can delay your actions towards it. Okay. So the Buddha also said that mind your thoughts as they as they become your words, and mind your words as they become your actions, and mind your actions as they become you. So you see, what you do, it becomes you, isn't it? Whatever things that you do, whatever actions you do, it will come back to you. And in the same way, the thoughts, the speech that you throw towards others, it will eventually come back to you. So that is what it means by it will become you. So before speaking, we have to consider 5 things: the fact whether the things are factual or truth, that it is not a fake, and whether it is helpful or beneficial, and it is spoken with kindness and goodwill. That means hoping for the best of all. for oneself and others, but more upon the others. And daring that is spoken gently in the way the other person can hear, very softly, compassionately, a soothing word for the others. And then it has to be timely, as earlier stated. We have to see whether the situation at that time is correct or not, whether the person that you're going to speak to is ready to accept or not. So you have to check all this. You have to consider all this. So the Buddha says that we have a dana that we practice it in it. So dharma sharing is the highest. And then that dharma, that particular dharma that we are talking about, is the speech of the Buddha. So you see, the speech is very, very important when it comes to the practice of the Buddhism. No matter whether it is in terms of the giving, when it comes to, like, even when it comes to the action, the speech is very important. So as a last but not the least, I quote the Suzuki Roshi's word, saying that to accept some idea of truth without experiencing it is like a painting of a cake on a paper which you cannot eat. So when you to really accept of the idea of the truth, you have to actually experience it. As earlier said, when we get a news and all, also you have to really examine whether it is a fact, whether it is a true news, factual news. And in a similar way, you have to like really reflect when the person says things, and also when you yourself also want to speak, you have to really think whether it is the right thing that you're going to say, whether you're going to really like benefit others and not harm yourself in the process as well. So you just don't keep it like the painting of a cake on the paper where you cannot eat. You have to really make it into a real one, so that you can really consume it, and also you can have the taste of it. So with that, I thank all of you for listening attentively. So Tujiche, thank you.
So, Vinita. Venerable, will you take some questions? Can we open up for questions?
Again, if it's up to the time, if you have the time, yes, it is okay.
Yeah. We'll open up for 3 questions. If there's any questions, can you just on your video raise your hand and then shoot the question, or you can send the question to the chat and Sister Jackie will moderate the questions. We'll take 3 questions.
Okay, thank you, Reverend. We have 2 questions here. Number 1, being frank and honest seems to hurt. Is it considered harsh speech?
Sorry, the being honest
frank and honest seems to hurt. Is it considered as harsh speech?
Oh, being actually no, because it is not harming. But you have to, as earlier said, you have to see the timing. Maybe sometimes even if you're frank, even you're truthful, if the person is not ready to listen, if and then when you say that, then the person will always take it in the wrong way. So then it becomes like a harm for the others. So when you go through this type of experience, then we get disheartened, thinking that whatever we do, whatever we say, good things, whatever in the bodily action from our side, we think that we're doing good, but it doesn't feel good to others. And in the similar way, when we speak, we from our side, we are speaking frank truth. Yes, in this degenerating time, when we speak truth, when we speak frankly, then the people really do not appreciate or accept it. But truth is a truth after all, isn't it? Whether it whether they want to accept or not. but the truth is a truth. We are speaking it from the heart and all. But I think sometimes it also depends on when you are speaking to the person and all these things, because of the timing, as earlier mentioned. When we say things when the person is not ready, when the others are not ready to listen, then it also affects them. Instead of benefiting, it will harm them. So when you consider speaking to others, this is one of the consideration that you have to check whether it is the fact that you're speaking, you're speaking truthfully. And if it is the truth that you're speaking, you also have to see whether it benefits others or not. And if it is beneficial, also you have to see whether it is the right time. If the person is in the very negative mood, it's with full of anger, hatred at that moment, and then if you go and speak something good, still the person won't accept. It's not soothing. Even if you're saying the very good things, it's not soothing for the person. So in that way, you have to see the situations. But saying that, if you speak truth from your own, then it is still a truth. So it cannot become a lie.
Okay.
Okay, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Just now you say teaching wrong thing is a major lie. But what
Yes.
about those people, they taught wrong thing? Are they considered as teaching Dhamma? They did not realize that they have wrong views, but they have good intention to share the Dhamma with others.
Yes, if the person is teaching the Dharma with the good intention, then definitely the person will be teaching the good, the right things, isn't it? If it is with the good, if it doesn't have a good intention, then whatever he teach, it will not be in the right way.
What if he's teaching, his view is wrong?
If his view is wrong, then you also have to examine. That is why in the Tibetan Buddhism, like when we form a guru-disciple relation, we just don't go immediately see a lama or a guru or a teacher and we accept that as our teacher. So we have to really examine. We can take the teachings, but we don't have to consider him as our gurus and all. Yes, as a master teacher, yes, but not as our root guru and all these things. So that's why we are given a time to examine. So in a similar way, when you go to attend the teachings and all, you can attend 1 time, 2 times, and then definitely after a few times of attending the teaching, you will know whether the person is really teaching the proper path or not, whether it is really the path that is according to the Buddha's path. So if it is according to the Buddha's path, the teachings of our gurus, the past Buddhas and the all these realized beings, then definitely it is a thing. Then you can change your mind and think in a positive way. But if you feel that the person is doing it for his own benefit, say for example, there are some that comes out even in the social media and also in the news that some gurus, they teach this and that, and then they misuse the women and all these things in the name of Dharma and all. You can reflect in that, the Buddha never taught all these things. You can see from there that actually it is not in the Buddha's teaching. So that definitely is not a proper teaching. So that means that guru or something is not doing a right thing. So in that way also you can understand. So you examine and see yourself. And then also sometimes you can check with the other friends who are like more familiar with the guru to really check whether the person is teaching the proper path or not, and all this. You can check the background checking you have to do.
Okay, thank you, Reverend. There's another one. Sometimes when we were nice with our speech, but people take it for granted, then we have to speak in a stronger tone, sounding agitated, then people knows the boundary. Is that wrong speech?
If you are doing it with a good intention to help the other person, then I think it can be considered as not a bad word. Because sometimes when we deal with the people, we have to deal the people with in a different way. It is with the it is not that you're speaking the harsh tone, with the the tone that is not so good. But if your intention is to benefit others, then I think it should be okay. So for example, when we deal with the children and all, for example, I'm giving, some people has to deal with so much of love and all. And then some children with the love and all, it doesn't work, isn't it? You have to give them whacking and all these things, scolding and all. So the parents all know in which way the individual children are and how they are to be dealt with. So in a similar way, if the person, you speak to the person in a good way one time, two times, three times, and it doesn't listen, but to benefit that person, if you are telling it in a little bit higher tone, and that person realizes that you are not happy with this thing, and then when you speak in the higher tone, he tone down and then he listens, it is benefiting him. But from your side, you have to have the good intention that it is actually to really benefit him. And then from you, when you say that, or when you think, you actually have to purely in your heart, you have to have the good intention. It is not with the anger and all these things you are telling, even though it is to benefit him. But if you're really telling with the anger and all, no, you have to use the wisdom with the speech, because that is how the wisdom is used in the speech, you have to use the wisdom.
So we need time. We have 2 more questions.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, Reverend. If harm from speech is already committed in the past, can repentance and remorse help to reduce our karma? Any advice how to dilute it?
So to reduce it or to dilute it is just keep doing more and more good actions, good speech and all. Because for example, if in the ocean we put a drop of ink, we cannot see, isn't it, the color of the ink, because it's diluted by the water in the ocean is more, and then the drop of ink is less. But as long as the sea remains, the ocean water remains, the drop will be there. It cannot be like fully wiped out, isn't it? So in a similar way, what we have done in the past and all, we cannot wipe it out. But when you do good and good and good, it will overcome that bad things. Like in a similar way, in a glass of water, if you put a drop of water, it will fully become the color of the ink, because the water is not much. But in the sea, if you put a drop of water, you cannot see the color of the ink, isn't it? So in the similar way, when you do good, it will overcome. So when we talk about the water in the ocean and the thing, the ocean water is clean. The ink is supposed to be a bad one, the dirty, because it what is it? It makes the color of the inks also with the water. But because there is more good, the bad is not seen. But in the glass, because the water, the clean one, and the ink is supposed to be bad, but because the good is not that much, even if you put one drop also, it will all become dirty. So to make the dirt less, we have to make more and more and more good, like the ocean water. So in that way, it can dilute. So eventually, like when the water become more and more, even if your drop of ink is there, it is not visible. So then it will overcome with the good things. So in that way, we can clear it up. Yeah. And then also like one more. Yeah, and also once you have done this and all, you have to have a strong regret that not only regret, you have to take a commitment or an oath or a promise that you will not do all these bad things again in the future, and try to keep in that position that you have taken the oath or a promise that from today I've done this and this wrong, but from today I will not do. So every morning and evening you reflect on what you have done, what you have said, what you have thought in the mind, clear what white you have done, what black deeds you have done, and every day you try to like bring it like white higher and then the black less. Every day you try to reduce the wrong deeds one by one every day, because when you reflect in the evening for the whole day's work that you have done, the deeds you have done. And then once you find out, oh, today I have done this good, did that bad. So if you, when you see the bad things that you have done, then you take immediately the promise that, oh, I have done this wrong things today. So tomorrow onwards, I will try not to do this. And then the next day you reduce, and that's how it will clear the bad things. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Reverend, can we recite mantra in our mind even in the toilet?
Yes, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can recite anywhere. The place is not important because it is actually in our heart. It is in our mind. It's all from inside. The place and all this is not important. And in terms of in the even the meditations and all, also same physically when you do the meditation, it is when you're sitting on the cushion or in the altar or in the very quiet place, that only itself is not a meditation. It is no use even if you are staying in a very mountain, high up in the mountain on the cushion, and yet if your mind is wandering in the cities and in other places all over the world, you're not meditating. So in the similar way, if you're reciting also, you can recite anywhere. It is not necessary you have to recite in the altar and all these things. You can recite anywhere. When you recite anywhere, then you are actually making a full use of your time. So in a similar way, it's meditation also. Meditation doesn't mean sitting on the cushion and all. When you're walking, when you're eating, when you're driving, when you're working, everything, as long as you're aware of what you're doing, and then try to bring back your mind. Like each time there is something that negativities comes in your thought or something, you be aware and then bring it back. That is also like when you're eating, also when you're being aware of your eating, you're walking. So mindfulness meditation is all this, isn't it? When you breathe in and breathe out, also you're focusing on the breath. So in a similarly, when you're walking, when you're eating, also you're being aware that you're eating, that you're picking up your spoon, you're taking the food and putting inside your mouth. Each time you are aware of this, meditating. So in the similar way, it is same with the chanting or recitation of the mantras. So no particular place needs, you can do it anywhere. Yeah.
Thank you, Reverend. There's a Sister Jessie Peh. She raised her hand. Sister Jessie.
Yes, good day to everybody. I'm JC here. My question to Venerable Sonam.
Okay.
This is with regards to telling lies. I will give you a case scenario so that you know what I am trying to hit at.
Okay.
Take for example, there's this rich guy. He has a safe in his house, and he has put some cash in the house, in the safe. And when he come back, the cash in the safe is gone. Okay. And he summoned the maid. I want to know who took the money. The owner at the back of his mind knows that it is his son. And at that time, the son is in the house. And the maid is now in the catch-22 situation. Should she tell the truth or should she lie? Because she knows the consequences of both. If she tell the truth, and indeed it was the son who took the money, if she tell the truth, the owner might disown the son or do something drastic. But if she tell if she tell a lie, she will not be able to get over her own conscience that, you know, today I lie, and then by lying, I'm not helping the son. No, I'm helping him this time, but in future I may not be helping him. So she's in a catch-22 situation. So now I put forward this question to all: should she lie or should she not lie?
Okay, this also, like as I said, it fully relies on the intention. Intention. So for example, sometimes in a similar way of what you have given an example, there are also similarities. Like there are, like the animal is being chased by the hunter, and then the animal goes and then hides under the let's say a meditator or a yogi or somebody, and then the hunter comes and asks whether have seen the animal. Because even though the yogi has seen the animal, he will not say the truth because he knows that it is the hunter is going to harm, is going to kill the animal. So he say that he have not seen it, or he kept it hiding and he said that he didn't see or he doesn't know or anything. So it is fully up to the intention, yeah. If your intention is really, really like with a pure heart to benefit or to save the other one, then yes, you can do that. But if it doesn't help, like if you're going to hide that person, in terms of this the scenario that you have said, the example. So if that person is one time saved, and then if it is again repeating and repeating the same thing again, then I think it is no benefit, there's no benefit we can see. So if it is in such cases, then I think it is better to tell the truth and then see what is the consequences that the person will face. I think they had a similar case in Singapore last time, I think, yeah. In the actual also, like the maid was found like with all the clothes and all of the honest children, the handbags and all these things, but in reality actually it is they who have thrown it because it's old, and then she just picked it up and kept, because when she go home, then she want to take it home because it is still new for her, she can gift it to her, this thing. But they said that she has actually stolen and all these things.
Yeah. So Venerable, so sometimes as a Putujana in our lay life, we are actually, and we do encounter and face with similar situations. So your advice is, if I were to lie, I will have to look at my intention. By me lying, am I helping both parties or myself?
Yes.
Or by me not lying, it's going to harm everybody. So sometimes in a situation, it would be better to tell a white lie, isn't it?
If you have to, yeah, when you white lie, you have to see the benefit in not only yourself who's telling, but also those two person, like for example, in the scenario that you said, the father and the son, whether they both are benefiting, and then the person who's telling also is benefiting, your intention, everything has to be checked. Then if it really benefit all, then I think it is better to white lie and then save everybody and benefit also.
Yeah, because this case actually brought my memory back to my younger days, where I was told by the doctor to go and tell my mother that she suffers from whatever. And I choose not to tell my mother because I didn't want to hurt her. I said, Mom, you'll be all right. You'll be getting out of hospital. But actually, she's not getting all right. So it doesn't really help her. And she may or may not know what she's suffering on, but I could see the pain in her. And when she comes back, she's not happy with me. And I think she knows that I lied. And of course, I wouldn't approach her and say, Mom, I'm sorry, I know I lied. No, but I didn't do that because I felt like, oh dear, I did something very wrong. But if I were to tell her, she'll be very hurt. So out of protection, I lied. And this little act of mine stays on for quite a while until later, in advanced years, then I brought it up to her and talked to her and told her, I said, Mom, some 10 years back, you know, you were very critical, and I was supposed to tell you that, no, they're going to operate on this, that. And when it finally did, you were very angry with me because you knew I lied. And is it because you prefer me to tell you the truth so that you are prepared that the consequences of the surgery? She didn't say anything, but she just nodded. So I realized that she actually wants me to tell the truth. And at that point of time, I didn't know how to tell the truth. I couldn't bring myself to bring to tell the truth.
That's why you have to see the situation, the timing and all. If you think that the person is not ready, if you say also, then they will go into panic shock, then they will get a shock because of the panic. So you have to see the timing, the situation, and then later on when the person is little bit like calmed, they somehow know from their own feelings as well, then you can slowly tell, because that is the right time, that because they are now ready to accept it. So so the intention, the timing and all. Even if you are going to say the good things also, it is not about all this lying and all. Even if you want to say a good word, good things, positive things to the person in benefiting or helping this. But if the person, as I mentioned earlier, if the person is not in the mood, is in the very like wrong mood, it's in the very anger state and all, even if we tell, it is a harm for him, because that person cannot absorb. They won't understand or absorb or understand what we are saying. So it is no beneficial, isn't it? You have to see, even if it is the word is truth, even if it is the beneficial, you still have to check whether the timing is right or not. So if it is not right, then you have to wait for the right timing. So you have done it in a right way. I think that you waited, you didn't tell earlier, and then later on, once she somehow you thought that she found out and you told her, I think it is the
Yes.
right timing that you have found and you told. So I think it
Yes.
is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good closure at that point of time when she nodded her head, and I knew that she knew it, and she knew that I liked, but she did not force me on it. So I was thinking that, oh, to follow the precepts of not lying is very difficult. It's not as easy as we thought it is. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Venerable, for your explanation.
Thank you, Sister Jessie. We have Sister Heather. Can you go ahead, Sister Heather?
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Venerable.
Hello, sister.
Okay, yeah, a quick one, yeah. So I think it's taking too much of time. Okay, just a quick one. About goodness of speech, what happens if you are okay, but the person that you deal with, right, is always use words that's hurting, and small little thing he will use words to provoke you, irritates you, humiliating words and so on. Is it because, like what you say, for the person that's receiving it, is it because of past karma that is ripening now that you have to accept all this? Or how do you overcome this? Yeah. How do you impress upon that person that has been using all these words on you?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's very true. When the people start saying all this, demeaning you, saying a bad word to you, as a lay person, I mean, as an ordinary person, we feel like sad, disheartened, and then we also feel irritated and look down and all these things. But if you look from the Buddhist point of view, I think you can also say that it is clearing of your karma. What you have done in the past, you're getting it now, as mentioned, because it is not, even if within this lifetime you're very good to everyone, you don't remember any bad things that you have done to others. It is not that it is only about this life. You have been living for many, many, many eons, like from the beginningless time. We cannot trace it back, actually, in fact, until when we have lived. So in one of the lifetime, definitely you would have done all this to other people. So that is what you're getting. So in a way, if you're able to, then you should accept it and rejoice it, that it is actually the clearing of the karma. And then in the future life, you don't have to go through all this anymore. But it takes time, yes, as an ordinary person, it takes time. But slowly, so one by one, in the evening, when you sit on the bed before sleeping, you sit for a while, reflect what you have done, what you have said, what you have thought, and in a similar way, what the other people have done to you as well. And then in the thing, you try to reduce whatever that you have negative that you have done, and then rejoice in whatever positivities that you have done. In a similar way, whatever the people have said, all the negative, you take it upon you and then change it towards as a path to your practice, because then it is like you're being patient with the person. So when you're patient, it is actually putting it into a practice as a path to your practice, to your spiritual growth. So I think in that way you can practice, but it takes time, yes, but slowly I'm sure we will be all able to overcome all this. So it is just a matter of time, and then a matter of how sincerely and how dedicated you are to your practice. Because some people, if you're not dedicated, we listen for one time, two time, and then after that they're not dedicated because they are not doing actually in the full-heartedly. They are actually like influenced by their friends, or sometimes they are brought to the practice or to the centers by their friends. So they themselves don't have the heart to come. So those people tend to give up very fast. But those who are really dedicated, then they will say that, okay, I want to practice, I want to come out of this samsara. So I have to take it positively. And then in that way, slowly, definitely you will be able to overcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sister Heather. Thank you very much. We have one last question. How to control bad speech over children during angry moments?
Okay. Yeah. How to overcome. Yeah, sometimes when we are angry, it just comes like, for example, as I was saying, I don't have children, but I have 3 cats here. So sometimes they are very naughty, you know. They suddenly will climb on this and that, and then on the computer, sometimes when we are doing a very important work, they will just climb and then they will shut down our computer. Or they will just like disturb all things because they seek attention. Sometimes it's because of their seeking attention. And then sometimes when we are doing meditation, they will scream their lungs out because they want food, and they will climb on our shoulder and all, telling us to carry them to the kitchen and feed them, no, feed me, like kind of thing, with the screaming screeches. So then we get this thing, but then suddenly we realize that, oh, actually they also have, they cannot think, and then they are hungry also. They need love, they need attention. So in a similar way, when the children are running and screaming all, sometimes it is for the seeking their attention, you know, they're seeking attention from the elders or from their friends or from the teachers or from the parents. And usually for that purpose, the children will make noises and all. So you try to give them a little bit of love. You go near them instead of scolding and all. You talk to the person, the child. And then I think once the children are okay, then your anger and all also will eventually go away. So I hope I answered your question.
I wish to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you for your questions. Thank you, Venerable, for your wonderful session with us. You have cleared a lot of doubts, especially as a teacher and heading the school. I do a lot of very high tone speeches with the students as well as with the teachers. Thank you so much for clearing this doubts and your sharing. And before we end the session, I'd like to invite you to do the sharing of merits and the closing chant.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So our time is up, is it? Otherwise, I have a slideshow for the children about the Bhutan.
Yeah, please share the slideshow.
Maybe we do that, and then after that, we can do the dedication.
Great.
Yeah. I'll just play as a slideshow only.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. Wait, I have to share the screen. Okay. So, okay, it's just about the Bhutan and its people. I just mentioned the topic as the secret of happiness because everybody look upon Bhutan as the cross-national happiness country. So just for the sake of the children and others to know, those who are not familiar. So this is one of the temples on a high cliff, which is World Heritage. If you go to Bhutan and if you have not visited this monastery, it's like you have not been to Bhutan. It's called a Paro Taktsang. Taktsang is the tiger's den, tiger's nest. So this is just a brief, the map that I'm showing where the Bhutan is located. Especially, I think the adults will definitely know, but I think just for the sake of children. So it is actually in between the two giant countries, which is China to the north and India to the east, west, and south. So this is the flag of Bhutan. It's a dragon. And then our country also in our language is called dragon country. Druk Yul. Druk means it's a dragon. And then these are some of the fortresses in each, here you call it as a state, but in Bhutan we call it district only, we don't have as a state. So in each district, we have this giant fortresses where it is used half as an administration and half for the monastic body. So it's in every 22 districts they have this giant fortress. So if we talk about the history of Bhutan, we have 5 kings, meaning we went through the 5 kings. So this is the present king, the 5th king. So these are the past kings. So before that, it was not under the kingdom. So, and in terms of the religion, we follow the Vajrayana Buddhism, which is a part of a Mahayana, and it is headed by the J Kempo. It's like a J Kempo means Sangharaj. So this one is a Guru Padmasambhava, also known as Guru Rinpoche. It's considered as the 2nd Buddha in Bhutan. And in fact, in all the Himalayan regions like Nepal, India, Bhutan, and all this. This is one of the example of the fortress. This one is the fortress of a winter residence. We have a summer residence and a winter residence. So this place is much warmer. So the monks, especially the Sangha group, in winter, they will go for 6 months and stay in this. And in summer, for 6 months, they will come to the capital, the summer capital called Thimphu. This is in a place called Punakha. And this is the Shabdrung Ngawang Namgyal, who is the founder of our Vajrayana Buddhism that we follow in Bhutan is called Drukpa Kagyu. So he is the founder. So these are some of the views from the nuns doing the prayers. And then during the puja, the meal is served and then they don't use plate and mugs. This is some of the cultures that I wanted to share. They put on the white piece of cloth, the rice, and then they have a small ball where they take the vegetable. And then that's how they eat. They make it into ball. And then they just put the whole ball. We make a ball which is just the size of where you can put in the mouth, one shot. We just don't bite into half and eat. So this is the these are the places like temples, stupas, statues, and all these are the things that the people's life revolves around in Bhutan. So these are some of the people from different regions. Like this is from the highland. These are the school children. And this one is during some special occasions where they're doing the dancing. And this is our king and queen with the public. And this is the archery, which is a national game of Bhutan. And this is some of the pictures of the nuns hiking up to their mountain where the nunnery is situated. So this is a kind of uniform dress that they wear. Men, they wear like a bathrobe, and then they pull it up to the knee length. But whereas for the girls, it is full length. And these are actually my nephew and nieces. This and one, and this are the real brother and sister from one brother, and this is from another brother. They are also real brother and sister. So this one is a national animal of Bhutan called takin. And this is how the people revolve around the prayers and around the stupas, statues. This is the people of southern Bhutan, because they are the origin of Nepal, where they migrated from Nepal and settled in the southern part of Bhutan. So they are called Thotsampas in our language, which means southerners. And this one is how the cornflakes are made. You know, your cornflake is different, isn't it? It's very soft and crispy, but ours is, we pound it on this wooden, this thing. We roast the fresh, this corn, and then they pound by 2 people, because once it become cold, it cannot be flattened. It cannot be flattened because once it's dry. So you have to quickly pound. So one person from here, each time the one person takes up, then the other will pound it down. So that's how they do. So these are also some people from different region like Highlander. This is in the capital. This is also in certain part of Highlanders. We have a different uniform. In To the eastern part, Highlanders, they wear this type of dress where it is all made from the yak, this thing, hair and the wool and all, because it's very cold. And these are some of the children walking very, very fast. The children have to walk. Some children have to walk to the school for 3 hours, 4 hours to the school and back from the school. And this is how they also don't have a proper dining hall and all in the school, where they have a lunch served by the school, because they come from very far, so they at least get a simple meal. So these are some of the pictures. This is the southern Bhutanese girls, and also a modern. So these are some of the, this is a female Rinpoche, and also this one is a female. This is the Sangharaj. This is the female the Rinpoche, or the Guru, very highly respected. So these are some of the different peoples on how they practice. And this is the ritual cake. I'm sure many of you might have seen, if you have been to the Tibetan centers and all, when we do the ritual practices. So these are some of the nunneries that is situated high up in the mountain. This is also very high up. It's almost like in the different world. When Venerable Karma and I visited this nunnery, we have to hike up so many hours. And then once we reach up there, it is wow. It's like we have reached to the different world, that we are not in this world of Jambudvipa, you know. It's really, really very high. It feels like we are in the cloud, and then in the different zone like that. So this is another nunnery, which is also, I had to hike up 11 hours to get to this nunnery. And then I was there for 2.5 months doing research on the nuns. And then during that time, there was a terrible earthquake, and then it was destroyed. And then because it's so remote, and then the nuns have not much income and all, they couldn't repair also the temple for almost 1 year. So these are some of the lives or the situation that the nuns are going through. And this is their temporary kitchen. And down there, if you look at down below here, it is very scary, because you don't see the ground. It is so deep down, because it's very high. And then if the wind blows, I think that all this thing will go, and then we will never find even the body. It's terrible. Yeah, I can't dare to look down also, because very scary. And this is how the people, like even the nuns and monks, also have to go through. They have to go and find their own wood for cooking. This is the kind of oven that they make with the mud, and then that's how they use as a cooking place. And these are some of the pictures that when the nuns are in the action of studying Tibetan, I mean our own language, Dzongkha. In Bhutan is called Dzongkha, not Tibetan. And then also learning English. And this one is during the rituals, where they have to use many ritual implements. And this is another nunnery. This one is much better. And then this is the old nunneries. This nunnery, this one is also the nuns' room, the dormitory, and this one also. So this one is much better compared to the other one that I showed. And there are nuns that have also completed like 3 years, 6 years, 9 years retreat in the very strict solitary retreat, where they cannot even see anybody. They remain in the closed house in the dark with the practice. And this nun has finished her 9 years of that kind of a very harsh retreat. And then now she is guiding the younger nuns. So these are some of the activities in the nunneries. That they go and collect firewood. They also do the gardening. They also have to prepare the ritual cakes and all for their rituals. And then they also have to do the groundbreaking and even making the bricks out of mud and all, because they don't use the bricks from outside, so they make their own. So the nuns do all these jobs as well. And these are some of the living room, or the place where they sleep. Quite terrible in many of the nunneries. You see, because of this newspaper, it is safe. Otherwise, it is all hole where the wind comes through, and then people can also see through So these are some of the activities also. Like this is called the Marx dance. Over here, people call it Lama dance, but this is a Marx dance. This Marx dance also represents about our life, especially in the intermediate, the bardo, once we have died, and then before we get a rebirth, we have to go through the intermediate state. And then this is showing all this so that we will be familiar at that time. We will not be scared when we see all these things. When we see now, then we will be able to recognize them and overcome them. So these are some of the pictures that the nuns are doing, the promoting on the environmental integrity, like cleaning up the places and all this. So these are the school children in the class, crammed up in a table very far. And this is some of the gestures during the mass dance and all these the festivals. They are like actually they are acharya, it is called. They are actually gestures where they entertain people and all. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable. You can
Okay,
start
sister.
your-
Yeah, we will do the
Thank you.
dedication. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So before we do the dedication, I would like to thank Venerable Datuk Kesri Dhammaratana. He's the founder and a spiritual advisor of the Sukha Dhamma School. And then I would also like to thank Venerable H. Hemaloka Thera, also a spiritual advisor of the Sukha Dhamma School. And then I would also like to thank Sister Vinita for giving me a platform, and also all your committee, your colleagues, your SDS Sukha Dhamma School teachers, and also for the students who are very patient and who listen, and then who also spend time in the center for and coming to the Dhamma School and learning the Dharma. And then also thanks to all the other participants, including the members of the center and the parents of the children, and then also the other participants from other parts where they have come here to support me. I'm not a good speaker. I'm not any good teacher or anything, but I was just sharing whatever I thought that it is beneficial. So when you all turn up like this, it is also giving me an encouragement. When I see more faces, then I see that, oh, there are some who are actually like want to listen to me. So hopefully I can benefit from that. So in that way, it gives me an encouragement and then to also continue in the future. So thank you for everyone for participating and supporting me. So we dedicate the merits to all our gurus, to all our ancestors, and then the merit that you have accumulated from today's listening, talking, sharing, and also from the beginningless time that you have accumulated lots of merits. You have done both negative and positive. So to dilute the negativities, you have also done a lot of positivities. So we bring all that merits together here, and not only of your own merit, but merit of all the sentient beings, and make it into a huge ball kind of thing, a cannon, and then dedicate that to every single sentient being for them to quickly come out of this samsara, which is the cycle of rebirth, old age, death, and sickness. And then also dedicate our merits to those people who have passed away from, especially now because of the pandemic. And then on top of that, also there are a lot of sufferings and obstacles and suffering disasters that is going on through the natural disasters and also the man-made disasters like war and all this, and natural disasters like famine, flood from the 4 elements. So we dedicate all our merits to all beings to be fully come out of this samsara. And even if they are not able to come out of the samsara fully, at least for them to be able to, for those who have passed away and passing away, to be reborn at least in certain Buddha's realm, so that they don't have to come back to the lower realm, but they can just continue and focus only on practice and eventually go to the Buddha, attain the Buddhahood. And for those who are still living and all, who have already met the Dharma, to practice and flourish more until you get enlightenment. And for those who have not met the Buddha, the Buddha's teachings, for them to quickly meet with the authentic teachers, and then from there they receive the teachings, the Buddha's path, the Buddha's teachings, and then through that they put into practice, reflect, meditate, and attain the Buddhahood within this lifetime. So with that, I will do the chanting in Tibetans. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Gandhi Rave Kore Shingam de Penda Dewa Jundi. Sorry. Jambe Pawe Jitara Kembada Kunto Sambo Dea Dijinde Deda Quingi Jiso Talob Jingewa Dida Tamje Rabdu de Sum Shebe Gewa Tamje Gewa Kala Chudongaba Dagi Gewe Zawa Digi Jan Sambo Chiche Rabdu Gi Chaze wada chije shabada jiso yira kuji sewai gewa junze dagi jisaba tamje zobe janchu chingu melam dobe gewe tembada kuyi neju zuche zumi samju ngebe juba maleba chusum dele zime jinju chuchu namge tedobe simje kinde dube chitara jamya chize ba dagi demba dendara shu janchu simchu rimbo che make panam keju keba nyamba meba yang konye kondu pelwara shu tunye tawar rimbo che make pada keju kewa nyamba meba yang konye kondu pelwara shu tunye ninje sundu jube lam cheche seze kanje tendu chana pemo tenzin jasula salvan desu shenden hindu shu. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you to all, each and every one of you for participating in today's event. Today is the concluding event for our series of Dhamma sharings and Dhamma gatherings that we had for the whole month of May in conjunction with Vesak. And I thank you for coming here and concluding this session with all of us, and wish you all a really happy and wonderful life ahead. Thank you, Venerable Sonam. Thank you, Venerable Karma. Thank you to the teachers of Sukha Dhamma School, to our moderator, Sister Jackie, Brother Chong, for assisting in today's session. Thank you and have a peaceful day. Thank you. Bye.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu. Reverend, how do we address you as Kola Suma?
Sonam.
You can call either Chela or Tsunma is correct. Tsunma also means none. Chela also means none. But it's not appropriate to call by Ani. Ani actually means aunt. Auntie. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Reverend. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable.
Okay.
Thank you, brother,
Thank
sister.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you, brother and sister. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, Chola.
Take care, take care. Stay safe. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
She will be sharing the recording with Dr. Sonam, and she will share it with all of you.
Okay, sister. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Take
Reverend.
care. Bye.
Very nice to see all of you. Even though we can't meet in person, but we can still see each other through the Zoom, through this
Yes.
high tech.
It's been a long time, Reverend, since I saw you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We have not been going out since the last lockdown.
Stay safe, stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Reverend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yeah, you too.